Good afternoon, this is Todd Colvin coming to you from the floor of the CME Group. We are looking at FX, and euro currency has had better days. We've seen a modest decline off the recent highs. That late August rally we saw from August 15th up to the end of the month, nearing 117. It seems to have pulled back modestly. A lot of that has to do with dollar strength, not necessarily euro weakness. I'll get to that in a second, but it ultimately seems like this is a dollar-driven sell-off in euro currency, given the fact that we technically are nearing the midpoint of that late August rally range. We haven't really seen any substantive news that would come out on the negative side for the euro currency, and I think that likewise we're kind of hitting that. We'll get to roughly 115, 114.5, 115 will kind of be first real support. If we break through that, it could start to look ugly again. Recall the year-to-date low was 113. That was put in on mid-August, so we're just off those lows. But we did see a nice rally over the last 2 weeks. Things have just kind of moderately pulled back a little bit as we saw today. And if we look at what's happening with the ECB, part of that reason why we're seeing the little bit of the declines, obviously, what will the ECB do when it ends its bond purchasing program in places like, say, Italy, which has seen yields rapidly rise with the idea that there aren't going to be many buyers out there that aren't sitting behind an ECB desk. And I think that that's the main concern now, is what to do in the spring when they want to take their buying program down to zero as they head into the fall and look to actually raise rates there. So the ECB has its hands full as what it can do, given what we've seen from Italy's short end yields, that they spiked very high very quickly, with the idea that buyers may not be there after the first, or at least after the first quarter of next year. And lastly, the one positive area we've seen in the euro is going to be against the pound. Certainly Brexit talks come to mind. The UK has been unable to put together any kind of plan that would stick, and things are actually starting to go south there. So the euro has been appreciating and is in a bullish trend against the pound. But that only lasts until the spring as well, because then we start to get the Brexit in or Brexit out, or will there be a plan, or how will it fall out? But right now it seems to be that the pressure is going to be on the UK side of that trade. Thus, we've seen the pound decline against the euro, and the euro has strengthened there. So I think right now the euro is in kind of a catch-22. It's declining against the dollar, it's rallying against the pound. But ultimately, it has to do with its banking policy, which we'll know about at the end of this year and into early next year. Is what will they do if no one's there to buy bonds of lower demand to countries like Italy, and yields spike? That could be a bigger problem than any of the Brexit issues we've talked about over the last year. So right now the pound in decline, but not free falling yet against the dollar while it appreciates against the pound. This is Todd Colvin coming to you from the floor of the CME Group.